you join me on this wonderful, bright, beautifully sunny July. I'm just kidding. It's 9 degrees and raining. Wow, it's beautiful. Right, so the plan for my achievement today is I want to put a cat flap in the shed door down here, because as you know, I've got 3 out of the 4 cats I inherited from my late mother. I've had them for almost a year now, and for the first God knows how long they just didn't want to come outside at all, especially Tallulah. It took her like 8 or 9 months before she even stepped out onto the patio. Now can't get her in, can't get any of them in at night time. They just don't want to. Doesn't matter if I try and feed them late, shake the box or something, they're like, no, we're just staying out here like naughty teenagers, which is quite frustrating. Now I could put a cat flap in the back door unit, but that would mean that I'd have to get a new glazed unit, because I don't want to put like a solid panel in there because of the light into the kitchen. So I'd have to get a glazed unit with the hole cut out and then put a cat flap in it, which is way more expensive, and I don't really want to do that anyway. So what I've decided to do is move. They don't use their tree much, because like I said, they're spending probably most of the time outside pretty much all day long, and at night time at least 1 or 2, sometimes all of them, end up just having to shut them outside. So I've bought the tree down here, made space, bought the tree down here. Kizzy is using it already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom panel out of this door down here. So I'm going to undo the beading, take it out, and then I'm going to use some plyboard. I've got some plyboard, which is only about like 6-7 mil, maybe 8, about 8 mil. And I'm going to make a little cat flap. I'm not going to buy one because it's a shed and I don't want to. So I'm going to make a cat flap, and then I'm going to hopefully cut down the glazed panel, because it is the size of the whole bit, but I only want it like half the size, and hopefully then come in and out. Because the problem I've got is that I've been leaving this door open and keeping that shed door shut, and last night 4 o'clock in the morning we had a massive thunderstorm and it was hammering down with rain. The towel got soaking wet because I've had to leave the door open. So I don't want to do that. So I want the door shut, and they can just come in and out. It's nice and dry, and they can just be in here, because I was fast asleep and Missy was the only cat that stayed out last night, and she just sat at that door after that thunder just meowing and crying. So I let her in.
What do you want? Wow. You do realise it's 7 o'clock?
And it wasn't fun. Now I don't want that. Now hopefully if I build a cat flap down here, that won't happen. So I'm going to get some tools, get the beading off, carefully get the glass out. Obviously this is not reinforced glass at all, so it'll just break. Got to be very careful. Get it out and hopefully not get too wet. Which, well, it's July, you know, the sun's going to come out and it's going to scorch us. I haven't got all day long to do this because England are playing in their quarter-final of the Euros at 5 o'clock. So I better get a move on. I am going to get wet though. Sorry kids, but you're in the way. You've got to move. Come on, let's go this way. Okay, so it's a nice snug fit. Now I've cut out the 8mm ply, stuck it in perfectly. So what I'm going to do now is cut out the internal size of what the flap door is going to be. With I've got some kind of weird saw that a customer gave me years ago, which I've never ever used because it didn't work for them. So I rewired it, it worked, never used it. Could work in this situation. If not, well, I'm going to have to use a jigsaw anyway. But yeah, cut out the internal bit so it's the size of what a cat could go through there, and we'll sort the glass out next. Cup of tea, I think, and it stopped raining. Started getting confused with all my measurements and my dimensions, so I've had to write bottom on the back. Right, now time to cut it out. Right, turns out that at some point in the past I've nicked the plug off the jigsaw, so I need to put a plug on it, or look away now, you didn't see this bit. Right, okay, took me a while to find them, but I have done. Look, I've got two of these hinges which go 180 in both directions. No, they don't. They go 90 degrees in each direction, so 180 altogether, which means that when they're mounted on the cat flap, it'll be able to open in and out, which means the cats will be able to go in and out. That's the idea. So what I've got to do now is find some screws that are small enough that they don't come through the other side of the ply, but also they have big enough heads that actually hold the hinges in place. Once I've done that, I'm going to offer it all in place, make sure it all works, then I'm going to paint it because I want it to blend in. And then once it's painted and dried, then I'm going to deal with the other side, the glass. So find some screws, get these done, paint it, then deal with the glass. Yeah, winning. It didn't matter how much I messed around with the hinges. The only way to get the cat flap to open in and out perfectly was to actually sink the hinge into the ply board using the stupid little circular thing. Seriously, I can't believe it. As soon as I picked the paintbrush up, it started raining. So I brought it inside. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to put some tools away in that because I just hate mess. Get it all cleared up, get all the sawdust brushed and stuff outside so it doesn't get walked in here. Then give it another coat the other side, then I'll offer it all in. If it works, we'll put the beading in, and then we'll start worrying about the glass. But yeah, tidy up first because I do hate mess. Right, okay, whilst that's drying, can't really do nothing else with it. So what I'm going to do, I've got my measurements, I'm going to cut the glass. Now, I have done this before, many years ago, probably like 20-25 years ago. So I'm going to give it a shot. So basically what you do to cut glass, if you haven't got a glass cutter, is you can use like part of a spark plug. Because obviously it's a lot harder than the glass, so you can smash a spark plug, use a bit of the spark plug with a ruler and score it and score it and score it, and then you should be able to snap it up. Now, I haven't got a spark plug, I'm not going to go nick one out of my car. So next option, you can use a carbide drill bit and score it with that and then snap it. And if you haven't got one of them, which I haven't, I thought I did, but I do, but it's massive, so it's no good unless I like cut it. So what I'm going to do is use a small flathead screwdriver, a little tiny one, and then I'm going to mark it exactly my measurement. I'm going to score it and score it and score it, turn over, score it and score it and score it a bit more. Then what you do is you get your soldering iron and you run your soldering iron when it's hot down the middle very gently. Then what you should do then is be able to put it on the side of the workbench, snap it. That is the plan. Failing that, sorry kids, but this piece of glass in here fits absolutely perfectly. Hopefully that won't be the case. Give it a shot. Come on, we can do this. I am about to scrape a metal drill bit down some glass. You have been warned. Ouch. Told ya. Well, that didn't work, did it? Not even close. That was quite a hefty karate chop as well. After persevering with the drill bit and scoring many more times and heating up a lot more, the glass broke perfectly. Done. One cat flap. I could have gone and bought one for like a tenner, but I had materials, I had the hinges that do 180, so I thought whilst I've got the materials and I've got some paint, might as well just make it, because then it kind of blends in. Now it does just flap open and closed, it doesn't really stop or anything, so anything under the side of the cat could come in and out, but I don't really care as long as they're contained in there with this door shut, that door shut, then it's not going to get soaking wet in there, and they've got somewhere to come in at night time and be dry. So the test is, if it does rain later tonight, whether they go in there and then they just be nice and comfortable and dry, or they whinge at the door again. If they do, I'm gonna have to rethink it. Didn't realise the glass was toughened. What a mess it made. I spent half an hour hoovering that grass because the girls play out there with no shoes on, and the cats obviously, so I've had to temporarily, sorry kids, borrow the glass out of the picture over there. But I will replace it. So there you go. Just a little video of doing like a cat flap, because it wasn't very nice at 4 o'clock this morning when I decided to whinge at the door and it was soaking wet in there, especially after I put all of their blankety things off their tower, through the wash, on the wash, on the washing line, put them all back, and then it was soaking wet this morning. But it's all dried out and lovely now, put everything away, quite happy, shower, bit of hoovering, job done. So thanks for watching, I shall see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, if you go in your tool cupboard and you find a jigsaw with no plug on it, seek professional help. Don't do what I did.